Hey everybody, Zach here. Yesterday I received my 2012 sculpt Belial from Composite Effects, cfxmasks.com, compositeeffects.com if you want to check them out. Did a quick unboxing video, had him sitting next to my version 2 Belial. Did a very quick review about what the differences were that I could tell off the bat, without trying the mask on, that sort of thing. Got a lot of questions about how do they feel, how do they weigh, what's the difference in weight, movement, that kind of thing. So I'm going to do a quick review video. Hopefully it won't take very long, so you guys don't have to listen to me ramble for a while. Between the two masks, version 2, version 3, not sure when they first sculpted version 2, but version 3 is the 2012 sculpt of Belial. This is my version 2 sculpt. Is gargoyle in color. If you guys go to look on cfxmasks.com, this is a gargoyle color. Of course, I don't think you can order this style anymore. It's just the 2012 style, but they do have a gargoyle color, so you'd get a similar color to this. I think I did a custom paint job and just asked for a tad bit darker on any of the dark spots. Like you can see, his scales in the back are probably a little bit darker than you would normally see. Yeah, so this is my version 2. Let me get the new one. This is my version 3. Belial, the 2012 sculpt. This is Naga coloring. It's more of a like a snake or sand demon kind of Belial. In my opinion, it's like a tan color. Scales are all dirty and grungy. Very realistic paint. Much more detail, in my opinion. This guy is very detailed as well, but I mean the detail in this is just unbelievable detail. So right off the bat, let's get into the review. I can tell that they look very similar, but there are differences. The scales on this guy, on the version 2, they don't stand off of his neck, they don't stand off of his collarbone. He has no difference in scales on his breastplate. This guy does have a difference. He's got some thicker scales on the side here, and the breastplate is a different pattern, a little bit smaller scale kind of thing. Also the scales on his shoulders, on his collarbone, they stick up off of the mask. If you see on this one, they don't stick up off of the mask. It's still detailed, but they don't stick up off of the mask. This guy, I don't know if you can see that, those scales actually stick up away from the mask. Another major difference, or big difference, this guy, version 2, does not have the Duraflex technology that CFX has introduced recently. Not necessarily a bad thing, but if you can get Duraflex technology, it's might as well get it. What that means is it's stronger, moves more realistic, more resilient, that kind of thing. I've never had any problems with this mask, but might as well have a little bit better security in knowing that this guy he's just engineered differently. It's an improvement. So another thing to touch on, I don't think there was a cost difference from version 2 to version 3. They just resculpted it, updated the sculpt, did not update the price, but clearly there's more silicone used in this mask. I mean, the weight difference in these masks is not huge, but it is there. I can feel the difference. I mean, you can tell the detail difference too here. If you look at these big scales on this guy's head versus these scales, it's quite a bit different. Horns are, I think, identical. Of course, this is bone, this is black, but they're both made out of the same material. Practically both identical. He's got a lot more horns on his face, scales that stick up. This guy, he has horns on his face, but not as much as the 2012. So let's get into the fitting and moving in these masks. So let's start out with the version 2 here. I'm going to throw some baby powder in here so it slides on easier. here we go. So this is version 2 Gargoyle Belial. You'll notice, let me focus this real quick. You'll notice that the eye holes, at least to me, they feel a little bit bigger on this version than the 2012. I didn't ask for any special eye, cutting on either mask, so these are both the way you would get them stock as far as the trimming of the mask goes. Very easy to put on, moves very well. Just great mask. It does seem that this mask is a tad thinner than the 2012. Another thing you'll notice, it's probably going to sound like I'm talking funny in this mask. After just a little bit of time, these masks start to almost conform to your face, and the movement gets actually a little bit better than what you see now, but this is still phenomenal movement. Let me turn around so you guys can see the back. So this is the version 2 that I believe is no longer available. I could be wrong, you need to contact CFX to see if it's still available to order. Great mask. But pay attention to these details. These horns coming out of the face, there's no scales that stick up here. The breastplate is actually bigger on the 2012. You'll notice that it comes down a little bit further. So I'm just talking like normal now, and you'll notice that it does move, but it moves a lot better if you really exaggerate what you're talking, when you're talking. This other mask, I won't exaggerate, so you'll get the same idea as far as how it moves. Just great mask. I can hear very well, very lightweight, very comfortable. Pardon the hair. On to the new one. This is the 2012 sculpt. Right away, when you put these masks on, you put both hands in, open, spread your fingers, pull apart. Immediately, I can notice that this mask is, thicker or has better reinforcements, just based on the tension that's needed to open this mask up to get my head into it. So, yeah, the weight is definitely different. The resistance there is different as well. So let's try it out. Okay, so I'm talking normally in this mask, and I know I mentioned it on the other mask, but just pay attention. This mask, the 2012, it just moves so much more realistically. It's really creepy and amazing for, that's why you buy the mask. So, moves very well. You can see that there's ridges here on the chest plate. These scales actually stick up. Notice these details here. Let me focus this up. Notice the details. The difference in detail is just, it's great. It's great detail. You can see that these stick up off of this mask a little bit more than the old mask. I will say that this mask does feel a lot tighter, not in a bad way, in a good way. It seems very snug, seems to contour, immediately to my face. Moves very well. Little tad bit harder to move in, but nothing to be alarmed about. Great product. Yeah, so main differences from 2012 to the version 2 mask. I never worked with the version 1, so I can't speak to that one. But differences from version 2 to version this 2012 or version 3 sculpt, you know, tad bit heavier, Duraflex technology, movement is a lot more realistic. I mean, I'm just talking like normal. I'm not exaggerating when I talk right now. If I'm exaggerating, it just moves more as you exaggerate more. I feel like I can breathe easier in this mask. I can hear better. It's still a tad bit muddled, but I'm wearing a mask, so just great overall. Very, very great work. And again, I think the version 2 is a tad bit thinner of mask. You can see that the breastplate is quite a bit bigger on the front. The back seems about normal. But that's it. So let me know if you guys have any questions. I hope this helps, you know, with any questions that you did have. But if you do have questions, you know, just send me a message on YouTube, send me a comment. You can find me on Twitter and Facebook. You know, it's just look at my username, you'll be able to find me. Yeah, CFX, thanks again for both these masks, and thanks again for what you guys do. It's just amazing the living art that you guys put out. So yeah, if you guys need anything else, just let me know. Have a good day.